Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on the purchase of your Jayco Eagle HT 24RE fifth wheel. Guys, picked a cool unit here. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A few things taken into consideration when parking: your campsite, your awning, your off campsite, of course your slide. Leave plenty of room for that slide to come in and out unhindered, preferably nothing hanging over top of it, and leave yourself a nice walking path next to it. Then I want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. As you see, they're at the front of the unit, on your driver's side of the tow vehicle. Power and water connection. Once we arrive, park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we get there, we're going to come up here inside your storage section here, hold both arrows down until you get a green light. Once you get a green light, we can raise or lower your feet. Of course, you'll have to drop these down, but raise or lower your landing legs. Once you've got your hitch off, all you have to do is hit auto level. That's going to run down all your auto leveling jacks and then dance your unit around until you got it nice and level. And it's going to stop. Once your unit's level, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. Now this 50 amp cord, the way these go on now, they go on at an angle. Once you wiggle them in, turn them to the right, and then put on your black washer. Sorry, I hit a bad angle there. Turn them to the right and then put on your washer. At the end of that 50 amp cord, should you need it at a park, in your convenience pack is a 50 to 30 amp reducer. And if you need to plug in at home, also in your convenience pack is this 30 to 110 you can put on the end there. Alright, so got our power hooked up, let's hook our water up. Jayco makes it real easy. You're either going to sanitize the unit, dry camp, or your tank fill, winterize, or city water. At the campsite, we're going city water. Simply put 2 buttons and arrows they say to go. Grab your water pressure regulator, which is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. I always use this when putting fluid in here. Come over here to City Water Connect, hook that up, hook your hose up, but don't turn the hose on yet. Right here, to your right, is your hot water heater. All we're going to do at this point is make sure our drain plug's back in. Get that in there nice and snug, preferably with plumber's tape. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn your hose on. After your hose has been on for a little while, go inside and open up your water tap. That's going to let the air out of the lines. The water's going to come out cold still, but once it comes out, you know that your hot water heater is full and you can go ahead and turn it on from indoors. There is an electric element down here. Keep that to off unless you're hooked up to 110. The only time you want to hook that up is to 110. Turn it on here as well as indoors. Hot water heater isn't working. Come out here and look to see if these are bubbled up. There are reset buttons, just press them back in. And then here's your pressure release valve. So let's say we're going to go camping, we're not going to hook up to city water. We're going to hook up to potable water. That's where you go to dry camp. Dry camp, point that down, point that to the right, put your water in the same spot, treat your hot water heater the same way. Just remember, when you're dry camping, that's when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. You You can turn it on here or as well as indoors. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water, it's already pressurized. Alright, we got our water and power hooked up. Let me walk you around the rest of the unit. I'll start right here in this little station. Do you have a little docking light? So where it's hooked up for solar, you can hook up a solar panel there and trickle charge your batteries. You have a big hose right here with a handle and spray port that hooks on there. This is set to normal or bypass when you winterize. Again, your hot water pump, that light tells you when it's on. Or not your hot water pump, your fresh water pump. Your black tank flush, we'll talk about that when leaving the campsite. Satellite cable and auxiliary hookup. All your different settings. Here's where your sanitizer winterize. Your handles to pull your black and gray tanks. A little convenient area to run your hoses down through there. In your pass-through storage here, your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. That'll come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. Your auto leveling system. Your propane tanks, lefty loosey to open. It'll be green, it'll turn red. This is on a regulator, simply point it toward the tank you wish to be using. This one on this side or on the other. This is a flue for your furnace. If you run your furnace, steer clear of that, it'll get rather warm. Again, your hot water heater. There's where we'll dump our tanks. Right there is where we'll dump our waters when leaving. And if you're using fresh water, a little easier to see with the slide closed. But up in between the tires is your fresh water drain. That's if you're using potable water. Coming around your unit here. On the back of the unit, ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year and check your seams. Fully walkable roof. You can get up there and kneel down and look at all your seams and caulk as needed. Maintain the roof of your unit. Unit's also prepped for a Furrion backup camera, device you purchase from our store that sits on the dash of your tow vehicle. Electronically communicating with this device, giving you a backup camera on the unit. Coming over to your campsite, I've got your awning just about all the way out. I want to show you how far to run that out. But you do have a pitch control here. If it's raining, you want to send the water this way, you pull down on that and that'll tilt your awning. This is a vent for your microwave. Here's your landing gear. Steps, we'll talk about folding them up. Outdoor speakers. You have a light. Dark, you can see your steps better with that light lit up. The same blue hose that's on the other side, you can use that to spray off this side of the unit. Rest of your pass-through storage. Notice all these lights that you just saw turn on here, you can set them to on or you can set them to motion sensor. This device here, you'll see another one inside. Furrion sells a Bluetooth speaker that'll connect to these. This is one of the charging ports for it. One inside as well, you can order them through Furrion. It's also prepped for a TV out here. Cable to 110 if you want to set a television out here. Here's your other propane tank. On the bottom here is your manual crank. Here's your hand crank for that. For your spare tire. In front of your unit, your batteries. Check your battery posts every now and then. Make sure them haven't wiggled loose over time. Well, that about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. First thing I like to point out when coming inside any unit is where the fire extinguisher is. Make sure that you and everyone who's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. I'll quickly go to the right of that. There's another plug-in for those Furrions. Bluetooth speakers. A 110 with GFCI reset on. And down here on the bottom is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Now the reason I mentioned this 12-volt, it's always running off your battery. So if you're going to be gone for the day, use that battery disconnect to keep your battery from being drained by this. Also coming immediately in the door at the bottom of your stairs is an access panel to your breaker box and fuses. A couple 30s, a couple 325s, and a handful of 15s. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go camping. Coming up the wall, you'll see a few of these throughout the unit. What this is a temperature reader. It allows the thermostat to work better. A lot of lighting from here. and your J Command BM Pro. Now first, before I start, you can find the app, the BM Pro, and anything that I do on here you can do from your phone. Touch a button here. This will send us through everything. Here's our heat, here's our settings, tanks, water, motors. So I'm going to start with the motors. There's your awning. The way you go up and down on this is select, select, select. Oh, going back to our awning. Now we're going to hit extend. So you only want to run that awning out until that flap falls down to 90 degrees. And you can see your black bar. Then you know you're out far enough. Now we'll come back over here and hit retract. And run the awning back in for you. Alright, now we've got that in. Close your exterior door again. So now we'll go through this panel. Same thing with the slide. You can come down to slide and extend or retract that slide. We'll do that when leaving. AC. Let's make that on. Oops, not mode. Cool. Turn the air on, excuse me. Mode off, mode fan. So it's a regular fan. You can make it heat, which we don't want. Cool. Another cool, or off. Now you notice the AC shut off. When I hit the heat came on. Now the heat may take a few minutes to shut off, it always does. So here you can pair your device to this. Hit OK there. Down here, advanced, I'm not sure what's in there. Oh, that's your tanks. That's where you can tell you, check your tanks. Here's where you can turn on your water pump. Select water pump, just hit on or hit electric or gas to turn on your water heater, depending on what you're hooked up to. That should be about it. There's your heat. There's your settings. There's your tanks. You can tell when them are full. And your water pump. Alright, let's come back down here. Lights. Number 1 turns on just about every light in the unit. Number 2 turns on and off all the outdoor lights. And 3 is a combination. Here's another spot you can turn on your water pump. And another spot that'll take you directly to heat. Or AC, whatever you want to turn on. Above that is a template where it's wired for solar. Should you ever need to get this wired for solar, that's a template for the techs. Coming around the unit, you know, you do have this storage bench, but you also have fold down chairs underneath the bed that'll fit there. Almost all your lighting is controlled in here. That's your accent lighting for your bird too. Same thing over here, accent lighting. Show you quickly how to turn your bed into a sofa. Back cushions are velcroed on. Simply remove those. I like to stand in the middle, gives you good leverage. Lift it up, open your legs, pull it out towards you. Lay the back down, just that quickly you have a bed. Reverse the process to put it back. Again, stand in the middle, just give you good leverage. Fold it down. Watch those legs as they're going in. I don't know if you're your sound system. If you're on sound system, AM, FM, Bluetooth, DVD, CD player, 3 zones, indoors, outdoors, or both. Shut it off in here. Turn it on outdoors, crank it up, or everywhere. Nice sound system. Fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. Yeah, I can go through and show you all the pretty colors, but the biggest thing about this is the heat. Come up here and crank that heat, excuse me, last one here, up to high, and it's already got a nice fan going. If it's cold in the morning or evenings, instead of using your gas, use their electricity at the campsite and warm it up in here by running this electric fireplace. Quick to see. There it is. Turn your television on. One thing I do want to mention on the TV, I'll show you here once it's on here.
Wall installer. Visit CBS.
Shut that off. Put this down because when you pull this TV out, it's best to grab it with both hands. Pull it out towards you. There's all your connections. I want to just see for travel. See, we want this to go in there. Snapped in good. Of course, your Furrion fridge, no explanation there, or your self-explanatory microwave. I will tell you your stove has a fan and a light. Stove top, glass top makes an excellent backsplash. You have a panel light. Simply turn it from on to light, hit your spark, and there's your flame. Same thing in the oven. Turn your oven to light right here, and then hit your spark down here to light it. No more pilot light down there to have to deal with, and you also have an oven light. Things off. Go up into the bedroom. Well, we'll start in the bathroom. One thing I want to mention in here is you have a hand controlled vent here. Tons of lighting. Pull this open from down here in the corner because it's a magnet, and maintain your plumbing. Remember, just like a house, maintain your plumbing. A little more so with this because it bounces down the road. Another temperature controller with your lighting in here. 110 and USB ports here. More control for your lighting here. Accent lighting. Also prepped for a TV back here. That's where it's bracketed. You can use a 12 volt, a 110. There's your cable hookup. So it's also prepped. Should you one day want a washer and dryer in here, there's your hole for your template for your dryer vent, and there's your water lines. Put these accent lights off. And lastly, your storage underneath the bed with your 2 fold-away chairs. Have a hand crank open vent up here, no exhaust on it. Well, that about covers everything in here. Let's act like we're leaving the campsite. First thing I like to do, shut off the main lights that I know I need to shut off. Close some doors up. This door here, your bedroom door or bathroom door. Let me turn the light back on here. Make sure that when you're traveling, you snap this back. You don't want this bouncing back and forth while you're going down the road. So what I found the easiest thing to do, tip number 1, I'm just going to shut off all my lights. Then I can go through and shut off all the individual lights. Your remote will be up here, actually above your TV. Where's this lighting? There it is. So tons of individual lighting you can go through and shut off. Come back over, turn our lights back on, bring our slide in. Before I bring our slide in, I want you to know these legs are strapped together for travel. Come back to our control panel, go to motors, select slide, retract. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed. That's very important, especially at entertainment center. Your little drawers down there, or the top ones, will rip off if they're out too far. In fact, let me make sure this one is closed. Didn't look like it was going to hit, but I could tell that it wasn't closed all the way. Continue to retract. So yeah, that's very important. Make sure all doors and drawers are closed up there. You don't want to tear stuff apart just because you're closing your slide. I want you to hear that grinding noise because it's actually not a grinding. It's the slide mechanism keeping itself from coming in too far. Sometimes it'll do it going out as well. Hit number 1. Come out of the unit. I see that my awning lights are still on. So I'm gonna come over here, hit number 2. I'll shut them off. Just come out of the unit. Make sure this exterior door is all the way open or this will catch on it. Lift this up, tuck it in. Lock and deadbolt your exterior door. Lift and turn this handle. Your door is secure. Unhook water and cable. Come around. If we're using potable water, get up underneath the tire here and pull that white handle. It's going to drain your potable water. If we're hooked up at a city, get up underneath there and open them up. Come to our hot water heater. Get underneath here. Lift up on this pressure release valve. That's going to drain all the water out of your hot water heater. Once that's done, snap that back down or your door won't close. And then you can pull this bottom drain plug. Come over to our auto leveling system. Hit both arrows again to light that back up. So motion sensor light came on. We're going to raise or lower the front until we get on our system. Once we are, we're going to hit retract all. That's going to bring up all of your stabilized jacks. Hook up your hitch and head on down to the dump station. At the dump station, take this 10-foot sewage hose. Now park accordingly because your dump is just in front of the tires here, almost to the middle of the unit. Take your hose, hook it up here. Come over here and pull your black tank. After that black tank sounds like it's no longer draining, take the hose at the dump station, again with your water pressure regulator, and hook up to this black tank flush. Hook the hose in there, but be sure to leave this black handle open and let that hose run for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. If no one's around, nobody's in a rush to get out of there, wash it even longer, but at least 5 minutes. Give it a good wash. That's going to clean out your hose for you and your black tank. Close your black handle after unhooking that hose. Then pull your first gray. These are all cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. Close that one, pull your second gray. Take your sewage hose off, store it at a nice sanitary place, and head on home. Again, we thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Eagle for many years to come. Happy camping. I did want you to hear that. If you hear that, it sounds like a grinding noise. Don't worry, it's not a grinding. It's how the slide tells itself to stop going in. Doesn't hurt to hear it for a couple seconds. As you exit your unit, make sure you open your exterior door all the way, otherwise this will catch on it. Lift your door up, grab this little blue thing, pull it back, and lock your door in there. Lock and deadbolt your exterior door, lift and turn your handle. That is ready for travel. Unhook our cable and water and our power. Once that's all unhooked, start dumping low point drains. If you're using potable water, that'll be those. City water, dump both of those. Gonna head back around to our off campsite. We're gonna bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. It's a little easier to get to now. We're gonna open up our hot water heater. We're gonna lift up on this pressure release valve. Now it's gonna spew a bunch of water out of there. Steer clear, we'll be hot. Once that's done, push this handle back down, otherwise this won't close. Then you can pull your drain down here. Got all our drains pulled. Leveling jacks are up. We'll go ahead and hook up our hitch and head up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your Your dump is going to be behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle. 10-foot hose, so just park pretty close here. Get up underneath here, hook this hose up, and pull your black handle. Now once it sounds like that's no longer draining, we're going to leave that black handle open. Again with your water pressure regulator. Hook up the hose at the dump station here and let it run for a good 5 minutes. Remember, with the handle open. It's going to wash out your black tank, get rid of all that nastiness. Go ahead and shut that hose off. Close that handle, unhook this hose, and come back here to my gray tank. Hook up the hose and dump the same way. No tank flush on this one. It's going to be a cleaner water. It's your sinks and your showers. I will mention we do have bigger, stronger, longer sewage hoses that actually have a Y or T hookup. And you can hook these both up at the same time. Just remember, pull your black tank first. After your gray tank is done, take this sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper. Again, so thank you guys so much for your purchase of this Jayco. Hope you enjoy it for many years to come. Happy camping.